people come asking me and ask me like, how's the movie? And I was like, please give me a moment. I need to reflect myself about this movie. It's not like I'm gonna judge myself only because I didn't watch this movie as early as possible, but hey, at least I got an early release for this movie.
Like we used to do.
Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is the sequel to the first Jurassic World movie, and this movie is directed by J.A. Bayona. Now in this movie, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom tells the story of 3 years after the events of the first Jurassic World movie. The island Isla Nublar, the place where the home of the Jurassic World resort, is now under attack by the volcanic eruption that is about to explode. And now Owen and Claire is on a mission to save all the dinosaurs, including the raptor Blue. That is actually a part of the storyline, but that's not complete for the plot yet, because in the plot we get to explore that there's another dinosaur that is being made, and whatever that dinosaur is, it's up to Owen and Claire to stop it for whatever reason that is. Now, to be honest, when I watched this movie, I got an early release for this movie, and I was like, okay, I might see this early as possible. However, I booked my tickets for Saturday, and I'm like, oh well, yeah, we'll just watch this movie on Saturday because why not? The truth is, I want to watch as early as possible, but I gotta take my reports, and Thursday, Friday, I got events. Actually, I'm not busy on Thursday. Could have watched on Thursday, but however, I was busy at the time, and that's on Saturday I was busy, yes, watching this movie. However, at other times I was busy watching this movie, I asked myself, did I enjoy this movie? Did I not enjoy this movie? I have to say that I did watch this movie, I did enjoy myself, but at other times I did not enjoy this movie for some reason. I left the theater speechless, and I was very busy, I was very tired. Then some people came and asked me like, how's the movie? And I'm like, please give me a moment because I need to reflect myself about this movie. And now I'm about to tell you my reason of what my thoughts on this movie. First, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I did watch the first movie before seeing the second one. I did see it again for another time, and I thought that the first one was enjoyable. And now with the second one at other times it's enjoyable, but at other times it's not just enjoyable. It's just that my thoughts are very mixed with this movie, that I really enjoy the other times, but at other times I'm not really. I'm not sure if I enjoy this movie or not. I have to assess myself whether I can enjoy this movie or not, whether I can say that the movie is good or not. I'm not going to come out and say, oh, this movie is bad, or say this movie is good, because it's mixed really. I mean, the movie's not that bad. It's an okay movie, and it's an average movie below good. I would say that the movie is okay, but at other times it feels like they really failed to attempt to make a good Jurassic World movie. What J.A. Bayona doing right now is actually a Jurassic World movie. He's creating a sequel to a dinosaur movie that has existed into the past and then recreated into the modern version. And now with the sequel coming in, I feel like what he did was, it was very dark to me. I mean, yes, the tone of this movie is dark. It was also frightening, but it feels very different than other times. I feel a little bit derivative with this movie, and I know what to say this movie. For its elements, as I know for the movie, yes, the elements is very dark, the storyline is dark, and I understand that it's Fallen Kingdom because the island is about to explode, but it turns out that there's some plot twist in this movie that you'll get to see. There are also some fighting scenes in this movie. When it comes to a director like J.A. Bayona, you're expecting for something good because you're expecting for a good movie from him. For example, A Monster Calls, which is actually a movie I thought I enjoyed. I mean, I was okay with this movie, and I thought to myself, well, this movie was really good. And now with Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, I just don't know what to say about this movie. I guess J.A. Bayona did great, but at other times it feels like he did a little bit of downfall with this movie, that he did really matches up in a good way. He's very good at organizing things, especially organizing the perfect time for frightening and then the perfect time for bringing the characters at the same time. But when they organize the characters on where they're supposed to be, it feels like it doesn't work well with this movie, especially when it comes in terms of characters in this movie. I thought the storyline was okay. I mean, you have a simple plot. The island's about to explode, and then plot twist turns out they're basically evil organization, and now they must destroy the evil organization, and that's for sure. That's basically what the idea of the movie is going to be. First of all, for characters, we have Owen and Claire. They're really back in this movie. They're the protagonists of this movie. And then we got these two guys, which I thought was really not that important. This one girl who's basically a scientist. She's a doctor no matter what. And then Justice Smith, who's basically an annoying character who had to be there for some reason. Then we also get the returning characters, for example, like Jeff Goldblum and B.D. Wong, which I thought having these characters were actually great, but sometimes the way that they were organized in the character was actually in a terrible way. For example, we don't get much of Jeff Goldblum because we didn't have enough screen time for him. And especially for B.D. Wong, I feel a little bit pissed off with B.D. Wong's character. character, because BD Wong is still the protagonist movie, he's still the good guy, but however they use the good guy, like, oh, this guy's the guy who created the dinosaurs, this guy is responsible for this, and it feels like BD Wong is a little bit similar to the first Jurassic World movie, but this time BD Wong is just more, it's just that they didn't use it in the right way for this movie. And yes, in this character, which is why we have villains in this movie. From a Jurassic World movie or Jurassic Park movie, I don't remember seeing a human as the bad guy. If we're gonna have a human as a bad guy, then that guy is probably like an idiotic. Maybe he's like claiming that he's right. And this time, this actual bad guy is an actual bad guy. Yes, we have a villain named Willis. And however, this villain is supposed to be a businessman. Yes, we're gonna have a businessman as our villain, basically, because businessman, we like to make money. And the idea is that they buy these dinosaurs and they're gonna sell them at the auction, and then they create another dinosaur. Now, first of all, in terms of dinosaurs, I thought the dinosaurs are okay. I heard they use animatronics, which I thought would be realistic, and I thought it's actually a good thing instead of using CGI, which I couldn't tell whether it's CGI. One of them is animatronic, one of them is CGI, and I couldn't tell by the dinosaurs. We still have Blue as the dinosaur, as the main raptor that everyone loves. And however, and speaking of that, we also got the many people has been terms. I mean, there are several times they mentioned the dinosaur from the previous movie. Yep, you guessed it, Indominus Rex. So what happened to Indominus Rex? We got the Indoraptor, which is another dinosaur they made. Speaking to the villains, yes, these villains are like, they're not just businessmen who wants to sell their dinosaurs from the island that they got. They're like, hey, let's make another dinosaur. I mean, Indominus Rex, it was fine, so let's create another dinosaur called Indoraptor, who is basically a high intelligent animal and a smart animal, and yet another deadly animal. I thought this dinosaur was very intelligent. I mean, I thought to myself, yeah, this dinosaur is really frightening for this movie. I mean, especially for a movie like this. I mean, the dinosaur is pretty fine to me. I mean, he's frightening at other times, and they created another version of a dinosaur and make it as horror as possible, which is why this movie is a thriller themed. First of all, I have mixed thoughts with this movie, as I mentioned earlier, and I don't know, because at some parts I say the movie was good, at some parts the movie is bad. For example, Solo: A Star Wars Story, I thought I enjoyed this movie, but at other times I feel like I didn't enjoy this movie, and it doesn't mean that I hate this movie. If a movie was terrible, but there's some good things about the movie, I would defend the good side of the movie, and I'll tell you about the good things in this movie. But if a movie shows more of the terrible things, then I'll tell you what's so terrible about the movie and why does it feel so bad. This movie didn't feel so bad. This movie at least tried. At an average point, the movie tried to be good. This movie tried to be bad. There were some parts that were actually in a good position. There were some parts that were in a worse position. There were also some cheap humor that I wasn't able to laugh at. Now, like I said, I'm not gonna say that the movie's bad. I'm not gonna say the movie's good. It's an average, I would say. So it's mixed actually, and I'll let you decide whether the movie's bad. I'm gonna say this, but Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom is an intense dinosaur mayhem filled with dark, frightening events. Now, basically, wait. Let me paraphrase that again. Let me complete my sentence. An intense dinosaur mayhem filled with dark, frightening events that falls at the same time. First of all, like I said, I was actually mixed with my thoughts on this movie. First of all, at other times I liked this movie, and other times I didn't enjoy this movie. So I'm saying that this movie's average. So it's basically a 50-50. Let's make it fair. If you like this movie because you like dinosaurs and you thought you were a Jurassic World fan and you like Chris Pratt, well, this movie would be enjoyable for you. You would walk out of the theater and say, wow, I just watched Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. It was great. But if you don't feel like Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom doesn't seem to comfort you, well, at least you're being honest with this movie. First, yes, I did enjoy Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, and other times I did not enjoy this movie. So it's basically a 50-50 average, I would say, about this movie. So in overall thoughts, I say this movie is just fine movie. It's just an okay movie to me, so there's nothing bad I can say about this movie. And in word, I would just say one word, that it's just average. So this is actually a fine movie. If you think Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom is good, well, prove me wrong if you can, because at other times I said it's good, and other times it might not be good. So there's actually a pros and a cons, because not every movie can be good. Every movie tried, but at least they can improve themselves with every sequel that might come. But yeah, that was my review on Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. Have you seen it? What do you think of the movie? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you're gonna see this movie. And yeah, that was my thoughts on Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. Next up, I'm going to be doing my review for The Incredibles 2, which it's funny because I'm seeing an early release for Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, and I'm sorry if the movie review is going to be late, but Incredibles 2, it will be another movie review that will be very late because of this thing called Eid Mubrak that I'm going to have. So, happy Eid Mubrak, and my apologies if I say that this movie is terrible. Overall, like I said, I enjoyed this movie, and other times I did not, so it's just an average movie to me. But yeah, that was my review on Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. Here's the outro. That is all for this video. If you do enjoy this video, give it a like. That would be very helpful. And in the description, you'll find two links so you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Google+. I appreciate you guys for watching this, and I'll see you another time. Bye-bye.